Thanks so much. I see a couple of you are logged in early. Welcome. I always like our little morning time together, a little few minutes together to say hello. Let me know in chat what type of business you're in and where you're logging in from. We typically get people from all over the country logging in. I am in Southern California and really looking forward to this webinar today. And I will be looking over at chat throughout the webinar. So I really want to make this about you today and keep it as interactive as we can. So if you have any questions on making videos, doing videos for your business, jump in with questions as we're going. And I would love to get your input on what you're creating and are there any struggles you're having with video these days? We'll be starting the webinar in just under 5 minutes. Like I said, it's just a time for us to sit and say hello. I'm sipping that's probably my third cup of coffee today, and I just realized it's kind of cold, but you know, I drink my cup of coffee throughout the day, so it's okay. Let me know if you're doing video now for your business. I really think video is how all of us as business owners really need to put our focus moving forward. It is how the engagement works the best. It's really how we're building trust. And I'll be talking about that in this webinar, but I'm happy you're here and I'm happy you're interested in doing video and doing a lot of video for your business. And I've got tips to make that easier. And I just posted in chat, let me know what type of video do you think would be most important for your business? All of us are a little different, but there's a lot of best practices that I'm going to be talking about today that really apply to all of us. I've been doing video for clients for many, many years. Yeah, a lot of years. So I'm really familiar being behind the camera. When COVID really started it, when we knew we had to be on video for Zoom and whatever, I fought that. And then when video became just really the most important way for us to connect with everybody for our business, I knew I had to be on camera for that too. So I didn't want to do that. So a lot of you, I think, feel the same way. I get that a lot from clients. So I've been there. I've been in your shoes. So I'm going to give you my best tips on how to be more comfortable on camera, how to get over that stumbling block of not wanting to do videos. These days, there's a lot of options for that. So if you are new to video, nervous about video, I'm glad you're here today. I hope that you can walk away from today's webinar feeling, man, I'm going to do a video today. I see a question, will it be recorded? Yes, you will be getting a copy of the recording and the slides. And that comes from SCORE, and you will probably get that within the next day or so. It comes directly from SCORE, so check your inbox. Okay, it's 10 o'clock here in my time zone, and I am very happy to be with you today. I'm excited about this webinar. Video really is my sweet spot. I have, like I said, I've been doing videos for clients for years and years, and just so many things have changed. These days, that's you, that's me, we probably have to be on camera, but we'll get into that a little bit more. But what I want to talk about is why video is doing so much of the work these days to market your business. It captures attention. That little bit of motion grabs the eye, helps to, when people are looking, stop the scroll. It builds trust because that authentic storytelling really connects and humanizes your brand. Absolutely can drive engagement. People tend to watch the videos a little bit longer, definitely more retention, and it can boost your conversions. Those clear call to actions in your video really can help guide your customers through the process that you want to guide them through. So, good morning. I'm Ronnie Ramus. In this day of AI, I'm really here with you. I'm here with you just like I would be for any of my clients, answering questions, giving my best suggestions. If you have questions, post them in chat. I'm going to be looking over there all throughout the webinar today. These days, I'm what's called a digital creator, and I embrace all of the new technologies that are available, and I get excited by them. And I want to share some of that excitement and get you excited about them too. There's so many ways to make the amount of content that we need to do ourselves easier. I won't tell you it's easy, but there's tips, tricks, and tools that can really make it easier. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I'm Ronnie Ramus, and on all the other social channels, I'm on my company name, which is Harmony 3 Productions. Before we dive in, I really have to say a thank you, heartfelt thank you to SCORE. I would not be here today without my SCORE mentor, free SCORE mentor, if you are not aware. If you haven't signed up for a free SCORE mentor, I highly encourage you to take advantage of that amazing resource for all of our businesses. When I started my business, I didn't even know what to ask, how to start a business. My learning, my college experience was in photography and art, and they didn't cover business. So when I got out, I was like, how do you do this? And luckily I found SCORE. I found a SCORE mentor. It set me on the right path. They don't do it for you, but they guide you so that you have an understanding of what you need to do for your business. No matter where you are in your business journey, there's a SCORE mentor for you. So again, thank you, SCORE. Thank you, everybody who's here today. And let's get into video, why it's doing the heavy lifting these days. If you want my best tips on a semi-regular basis, sign up for my newsletter. Again, you'll get a copy of the slides and the video. You can click the QR code. And in my newsletter, I'm really talking about things that I'm not quite ready to do a webinar on, but that I think are exciting, and I want to show you where I'm playing with them. Okay, video, I think it's no longer optional for most businesses. Absolutely, people see you, they can hear you, and they can remember you easier. And the good news is you don't need a fancy studio to get started. Videos become just the most effective way to connect with your customers online. Today, I want to talk about, how video plays such a key role in digital marketing these days. It is impossible to ignore it, and how you as a business owner can use it without a big budget, without a production team. I'm going to talk about where video can really fit into your marketing and how to approach it really confidently. So the things that I want to give you as takeaways is to understand why video performs so well across the digital platforms, and to identify simple and practical ways that you can use it for your communication and to learn how to get started using the tools that you already have. People are overloaded with content these days. If you're on any of the social channels, you know exactly what I mean. Video helps you earn the attention faster. Again, it's that little bit of motion can be thumb stopping. It also can communicate your personality and make your message more clear and gain that trust in seconds. So why is it doing that, what I call the heavy lifting for your marketing? Well, it explains faster than text. It feels way more personal than graphics alone, and it can be reused across every platform that you're on. And it supports both visibility and trust. So what does video do best for you? Well, it shows your face and it shows your personality. It can demonstrate your products or your services. It can answer questions really quickly, and it builds that familiarity over time. People want to know who they're buying from. Video helps people feel like they know you. It matters for service businesses and consultants, shops, local brands. Trust these days is so important, and it starts often before the first time they ever have a conversation with you. These days, that trust and visibility and connection starts most times before they even see your website. Everything these days really is starting on social, and video is at the top of your social communication. So how does it help you compete? Well, the good news is you don't need a giant ad budget and you don't need a full production crew, but you do need clarity and consistency and a willingness to show up. So some common myths about video. I need really expensive equipment. I need to look perfect. I need to be great on camera. I need a full script every time. None of those are true these days. So I'm going to sprinkle tips throughout the webinar today, and here's my first one. Start with a smile. A simple smile changes your energy right away. It helps you sound warmer. Even a small smile at the start can make a difference. It can make you be more approachable. So for example, I am sitting here. If I was going to start filming a video, I would sit down, smile, sit up straight, little smile, and then start talking. That absolutely exudes more warmth than if I did everything else, sit up straight, look at the camera, but don't smile. I'm talking very serious in a monotone. That's not very approachable. You want to treat people that are seeing you online like you're meeting them at a coffee shop, at a business appointment. You want that connection to be felt even though it's through the camera, and that does work. All right. So where does video fit in your marketing mix? Well, absolutely social media. You can engage your audiences with short form video ads or stories. Your email marketing, absolutely. You can't really embed a whole video in a newsletter, though you can put in a GIF, which is a short animation, and link it to where your video is going to be. Is it on your website? That would be my best suggestion. Is it on YouTube? But trying to put the whole video into your email these days, there could be issues with deliverability. So I recommend embedding just that little video clip, a little GIF, again, so you get that motion and then you make that clickable link. Absolutely on your web page, your landing pages, use the bigger widescreen hero videos to quickly explain and show your differentiators, your value propositions. What about sales follow-up call? You can send personalized video messages and really build some rapport that way. Customer education, I think this is absolutely underutilized. Creating tutorials and how-to videos. What about for onboarding or showing how things work? Event promotions, absolutely. Use teaser videos to boost either live streams or in-person events. It's it works as like a little commercial, like a little tiny commercial for your short little video. It's using content, taking an element of it to be the teaser, and then going to your longer video, even if it's a short form video. So let's talk about some top goals for using video for business. Well, I think the number one is getting attention. Helps you stand out in that digital space. And like I said, trying to stop the scroll. Building trust, so important. You can create authentic connections and credibility with your audience with video. It can help you really explain clearly what you do and have that communication be a little more concise and really showcase, again, your differentiators, your value proposition, what sets you apart, and driving specific call to actions, your next steps with clear, really concise calls to action. You're going to this trouble to make marketing materials. And if it's video, sometimes that's a little more trouble. Don't just post and scatter. Have a clear call to action even on your videos so that you know that your marketing efforts are working. If they're not doing what you are asking them to do, then you need to evaluate that and change things up a bit. But watching the analytics on everything that you're posting, but especially on your videos, a great way to see if they're being effective and to figure out what you can tweak to make them work better for you. All right. So some types of videos that you could think about creating that really tend to get more engagement. Short tips and advice. So these days, those video shorts that you're seeing all on your social really are the main way people are using video. Long form video, absolutely still, don't ignore long form video, but short form video for repeated, consistent content is really what we're focusing on these days. So that can be quick, valuable insights to help you establish your authority in your space, for you to be able to be seen as a thought leader. What about your frequently asked questions? You all know, say maybe 10 things that people should ask or do ask about your business, and you probably know 10 things that people should ask. Right there, that's 20 ideas for videos. Behind the scenes, that shows the human side and the process of what you do. Product demos or service demonstrations are great because you can really showcase your features and the benefits that you offer. And personal introductions, you can connect with the audience through founder, owner, or team stories. So what we're seeing mostly these days on social is what we call the talking head videos. And you've seen it, it's shot, vertical, and you just kind of see a person's head and shoulders talking to you. And they're popular because they're direct and they're personal. And you'll notice that person is looking right at you. They are looking at the camera. It establishes that immediate connection and authenticity. They're very simple to create without a crew, minimal equipment and resources. You can do all of this with a camera or with your phone, which is actually a really good camera. They're highly effective for expertise-based businesses because it showcases your knowledge and it helps build credibility. People absolutely connect with faces. It helps to humanize your brand and, again, foster that trust. So, another tip, look into the camera. Be staring right into the camera. That eye contact builds connection. Looking at the screen instead of the lens can feel kind of disconnected. So a tip, if you're using a camera, like you see the photo here, you can put a sticky note right next to it. And it's just so kind of unusual, it will help you to look right there. If you're using a webcam or if you're using your phone, you can still put a little tiny sticky note on the back, just something to, make you remember, oh yeah, gotta look right there. So again, I'm keeping chat open. If you have any questions, absolutely be posting in chat. I think I see maybe one in Q&A. It's definitely easier if you do use chat, if you can. I see a question here. Are there programs I would recommend with AI to make video content if you don't want to be on camera? Yes, and I will be talking about that in just a minute. Absolutely. And I do hear that a lot. I have some clients that are just hard no, not going to be on camera. So there are options for you. Yes. Okay. So why video performs well on social platforms? Well, again, that movement, it catches the eye a little bit, and definitely we're looking for scroll stopping. So that's works better than static images. The human brain is really wired to notice motion, right? Something moving in the bushes, we're going to notice that. It can instantly draw their attention. And social platforms actually actively reward and push video content. The algorithms prioritize and boost video. And that can really help you with greater, reach and visibility. And it communicates your message so quickly without requiring a lot of reading. These days, face it, we have no attention span left as a species. So video, it's working for us. Complex information really can be delivered very succinctly and effectively with video, and it maximizes your audience engagement. So why does short video work? Well, a couple things that you might not have thought of, but it respects people's time. They're much easier to create consistently, and they deliver one useful idea clearly. And that's something that I want you to remember. One idea at a time. The good news is, I'm sure you have a million ideas in there, a million things you want to talk about, one at a time. And then that gives you all those other million to make more videos about. But there's a lot of statistics that show if you offer too many options, people get like, I'm not going to pick anything. One topic per video. Somebody's saying, how long should a short video on tips be? Well, I would say one tip at a time. Social media videos, you've got your short form videos that are typically like 12 seconds to maybe 30 seconds max. That's a short form video. And those are the ones that are so popular right now. So if you can coordinate it in that time frame, I think that's great. Because if it's too long and you don't get to the point right away, people are gone. They're already scrolling past it. If you have a lot of tips, right, you could do a long form video. Maybe have it on your website. Maybe have it on your YouTube channel as evergreen content. But then take each one of those tips and make it into a short form video. That's a lot of content right there. That's great. Short form videos, one tip per video. All right. So the best video strategy is really pretty simple. As I said, one topic, one message, one audience, one call to action. And when I say one audience, I mean your audience. You should have a clear vision of your audience persona. Maybe you say, but I have this and it talks to this audience, and I have this and it talks to that audience. Then that's two videos, right? You're talking to one audience. What you say in the video, the tone that you say, should be what your audience is comfortable hearing, not what you're comfortable saying. Every bit of content that you create, whether it's written or video, should be speaking to your audience in the way that they are comfortable hearing, and it's giving valuable content to them. That's the key. All right, another tip. I mentioned it briefly before, but when you're doing your video, sit up straight. Pretend I'm behind you going, sit up straight. Posture affects your confidence. It definitely improves your voice and your breathing. Sitting up straight just makes you look ahead and you sound more polished. So I am sitting on the the edge of my chair right now. I am not touching the back of my chair. If I was touching the back of my chair, I'd be like this, right? That's just not as engaging as if I am sitting up straight, looking in the camera, even though I'm just a few inches farther forward. I can breathe better. I can project my words better. And you give off that polished and professional presence better sitting up straight and connecting into the camera with your audience. Okay, you've already got all the tools you need to start. A smartphone, they all pretty much have great cameras these days. Natural light from a big window, a quiet room, a simple tripod, or even a stack of books. And there's basic free editing apps on any of the platforms. So when you're thinking of filming you, and that big window light works great. So for example, for me, I have one light in front of me and that light is in front of a big window. So mainly the light on me is from the window. But if I was, filming at night, I still want big light on you. The reason you want big soft light on you is it's pleasing. It's very, what we in the industry we call it beauty light. Nice, soft, no harsh shadows. Like I said, you don't need a lot of equipment. You can be in front of a window. But what if that window light coming in is harsh? You can put a simple sheet or some sort of diffuser drape in front of it so that the light on you is soft and even. Okay, I see a question here. Can I suggest lights for skincare videos? So for skincare videos, again, you could use a big window, but if you're doing skincare, you want to keep your lighting consistent. So my recommendation would be what's called a soft box or some sort of soft diffusion light. And that just means the light source has like a diffusion material over it. So you've probably seen photo umbrellas. Soft box just has the soft, and you can look any of this up on Amazon and get the biggest one you can afford and fit in your space. The reason for big, if you have a small little light at you, that's kind of pinpoint and focused. You want beautiful, big light across your face. So soft box, so nice, even soft lighting, and as big as you can get. Let's see a couple more questions. What are my thoughts about creating content from a home office as opposed to outdoors, like walking? I think either one of them can work. If your business is very professional, very, I don't know, lawyer, dentist, whatever, is outside appropriate for that? Only you know what's going to connect with your audience. So for something like that, I would suggest in your office. But a lot of times people will be taking videos with them outside. If you're outside, take the same best practices I'm talking about with lighting when you're outside. When you're outside, if you're walking around, soft light typically is open shade. And what that means is like you're not going from bright sunlight to dark shadow. That will be uncomfortable to watch. Open shade could be, a roof overhang. Trees in a park, not my biggest, I don't like that because a lot of times they reflect green up into your skin tones, but you want the same concept of bright, even light on your face. Some of the most beautiful light is either out in the desert or at the beach where the sand and the water is reflecting. So you've got light coming at you and all of it. It can be gorgeous, but all of that is the same thing as if you're in your office, nice, even light on your face. Softbox, somebody's saying any brand on Amazon. There's hundreds of brands. So I can't, I would have no way of testing them all. Look at some of the reviews and see if it looks like what will work for your needs. Absolutely. So real quick on placement. For the softest light on your face, typically it's nice to have more than one light. But if you've just got one light slightly above the camera angle, so my light right now is above, and I need it a little higher for me because of glasses. If it's right in front, you're going to get reflections for your glasses. That big giant softbox can be just beautiful by itself. If you can only get small boxes, then I recommend you get a couple of them. Put one on each side of the camera or phone that you're recording with, because that light coming across each other, and aim them so that the light is coming like this on you, will give you the softest that you can with a smaller box. Someone is saying microphone suggestions if you're filming outside. Absolutely. Which microphone? Again, there's so many of them out there. Look at the reviews. You can get a lot of those little, what they call lavalier mics. I definitely recommend something that you can pin on a lapel, or you can hand hold, but they're wireless. So what you don't want is to have to deal with a wire that has to plug into your phone or to your camera. But little lavalier mics work great. There's ones that we're using these days are from Rode, RODE, or Small Rig has some great, very inexpensive one. Well, inexpensive, they're maybe a couple $100, but there's a lot of different ones online. And again, check on Amazon, check the reviews, and check your budget and see what's going to work for you, because you can always go up. But I want you to get started. If you're outside, you are definitely going to need a microphone. Yeah, I think even if you're inside, you're going to need a microphone because it helps so much. Okay, so back to the two soft boxes, one on each side. Yes, and it's not to the side like this. It's still in front of you, but so that the light from one kind of goes like this, the light from the other goes like that. So you're getting that nice even light. Okay, so you don't need that fancy gear first. You start with what you have. Just start. Better content and clarity beat expensive equipment every time. You can always upgrade your gear later. That's just what I was saying about the microphone. Get something to start, because if you're using the mic, in your camera or your phone, it's not going to sound that good. You get a lot of echo. Get something, and if you need to upgrade, you can always upgrade later. Okay. Another tip, clean that background behind you. Small changes really can make a big difference for professional impact. So a simple, clean background, it helps keep the focus on you, and it can remove distractions for the viewer. And you don't need a fancy set, you just need a tidy space. I'm not a fan of just a blank wall, but I want something that is reflective of your business, if it's your office, but tidy it up. So just have your office look like it's your office on its best day. Okay. So a couple of tips for that office background: a clean, neutral wall, a tidy, organized space, and a subtly branded workspace. I like this idea. And all that means is, if you look at this, illustration, I would love to have that as my background, because it matches my brand colors. So that's that subtle branding to a video. So I do like that. And you can put a soft background blur on, but I wouldn't go too heavy blur. Like right now I'm in my actual work office, which is not where I would be doing a business video. So I have just a slight little blur on, but I personally would not do that for a video that I'm making for my social channel. I think it's great for Zoom. I think it's great for webinars. I can comfortably be here with all my stuff to share with you. But if I'm recording a video for my business or doing a video for a client, I like to see the real background. All right, so some lighting basics. So these are just some, best practice techniques that professionals use. If you're doing with just window light, face that window. Position yourself towards the window, the light source, so it is lighting you. If you have the window behind you, that strong light source creates you as a silhouette, and it really can obscure your face details, which is not what you want. Just like I said before, soft, even lighting is the most flattering. And when we say soft, that means it's diffused a little bit, whether it's a foggy day or you can put a sheet or something to help diffuse the light, shower curtain in front of the window that can really make it look polished and professional. Let's see. Sam is saying, I'm redoing my office. I'll have a nice simple background. ChatGPT was suggesting to paint the wall a pastel green or blue wall. Are those your company colors? If they're not, no. And I definitely would stay away from green. Only you can decide if that is a good color for you. And is it reflecting into you? That is what I worry about green outside, because it will reflect into your skin tone. If it's just behind you, chances are it's not going to reflect. But if it is not one of your company colors, I see no reason to go with a color that doesn't tie to your brand. I would go in more of the neutrals, but again, without seeing your company colors. But those are things to think about. Someone is saying, what light can be used to soften a shadow on the wall? So some shadows are totally appropriate. If it looks like a soft shadow that's coming from the window light, I have no problem with that. If it's a really harsh shadow, you may want to put an additional light behind you. If you're looking at me talking to you right now, I have a light behind me that's giving that little glow on the background behind me, because sometimes just a background wall behind you is kind of flat. So if I move over, you can see that light is right at the background wall. I cover it when I'm talking to you, but it gives that glow, separates me from the background. I think that is a really good technique to use. Okay. All right. Use what makes you comfortable. Find your workable style and sit if it feels natural. Stand if you feel like you need more energy standing. Use bullet points or a full script, whatever works for you. Comfortable definitely translates into confidence on camera. As I was saying, audio matters more than people think. People will forgive bad lighting, but not bad audio. Record in a quiet space with soft furnishings. And what I mean by that, if you can, if your couch isn't in with you, bring the couch cushions in, put them around you. It helps deaden any echoes. You can use earbuds or some sort of clip-on mic like I was talking about, but that mic makes a huge difference. Test your sound before you record the whole video. I've had clients, I'm coaching them through it. I'll say, send me the clips. They don't send me a test clip. They record the whole thing. And then I'm like, but your mic sounded terrible. Do short little practices before you record your whole video. That way you know on this day, at this time, this worked. If it worked, make sure that you make notations of that. What mic did you use? Where were you in relation to the window? I measure how far. I measure from my nose to the window or to the light, and I write it down. I measure where the camera is, from the center of the camera, whether it's your phone or your camera, to the ground. Write it down. And especially how far you are from the camera, from your nose to the center of the lens, whether it's your phone or a camera. Write it down so that when you go back next week or whenever to make your next video, you've at least got that roadmap. I can pretty much guarantee you, if you follow that roadmap 100%, it's still not going to be right. I don't know why, but I've done this for years and there's always something slightly different. But it's so much quicker if you can start with that little roadmap, and then you just have to make little tweaks. But otherwise, you're starting from scratch every time. Okay, what to say on camera? Start with the problem that your customer faces. This is absolutely the place to start. Address their pain point directly to establish the relevance. So you know what your customers struggle with. That's where you start. Offer a helpful thought or solution. You want to provide value and actionable advice. Then keep it conversational, not overly formal. Be authentic and relatable, and just like you're speaking to a friend. And then you're going to exit with that next clear step. Guide the viewer with the specific call to action. What do you want them to do next after they watch your video? So, simple formula for that. Small business video marketing. What's a formula? Well, you're going to start with your hook. That's something you do, say, show to grab attention. Motion grabs the eye, helps stop that scroll. That's what we're all aiming for. Then you're going to give a helpful piece of value that you are offering to their pain point. Telling an authentic story really can foster that just connection and humanization to your brand that we're talking about. You can show an example that helps make it real. Video generates higher interaction rates and better recall, and especially if you're showing something that worked, like a client testimonial or a case study. And then, yep, call to action. Tell them what you want them to do next. Here's another tip. Let's use a teleprompter. It enhances your video delivery with a very simple tool. Using a teleprompter is not cheating. It's a tool for better communication. You are marketing. You're not just like riffing on a topic. It helps with really clear delivery and staying focused. I know if I don't use a teleprompter, I'm like going off this way or forget what I was going to say. Yes. And it helps you maintain eye contact with your audience. It helps prevent that rambling that I know I'm guilty of. And it keeps you on message, and it keeps your video short. If we're trying to get our message across in 12 seconds to 30 seconds and you start rambling, you've lost that opportunity to really connect with them. All right. So some teleprompter options, the simple solutions. So if you're using your phone, there's teleprompter apps that scroll the text on the screen. You can set it to whatever speed you want, whatever text font size you need. And the scrolling notes, they're next to where the actual camera is on your phone. So you're reading it, but it looks like you're just looking into the camera and you're talking and getting all of your bullet points out, and you're in your 30-second time frame. Sticky notes with bullet points next to the lens can work if you don't have a teleprompter app, but can you write big enough that you can see? Maybe, but I'm just saying, you got to have something either with bullet points or an actual script to keep you on track. You can use short sentence prompts taped to your tripod, or I've actually worked with clients that just have big, you can get those big sticky notes and they put their bullet points on the back wall. I have not personally had as much success as I have with teleprompters using notes, because the teleprompter, you read them, you're looking into the camera, and on the notes, you can see your eyes darting to the notes. All right, how to relax on camera. And this is important that you do look relaxed. So for confidence on camera, whether it's making a video or in a presentation like this, take a deep breath before you start. As I said, you're sitting on the edge of the chair. Deep breath. I like to just drop my shoulders. Smile to change your energy, just like I talked about. And this is another helpful tip. Talk a little bit slower than usual. Pretend you're talking to just one friendly customer. There's a lot to be said about short pauses to emphasize what you're saying. You don't have to read everything really fast and then get off because you only had 12 seconds. Relax, start with a smile, and then read through your prompts on the teleprompter or hit those bullet points, talking a little bit slower than you normally would. I'm trying to give you my best tips to make you more comfortable on camera because I have been there. I feel your pain. I never wanted to be on camera. But, when all of our experience changed and video became the way we were connecting with each other, and now on social, how people expect us to connect, I had to do it. I knew I had to do it. I said, I have to do this for my business. And I believe that is the best way to present our business online. But like I said, I will be giving you some options if you're just a hard no with that. You still need video, 100%. But there are ways that you can get around you being on camera. So here's another tip. Record more than one take. Sometimes business owners, the video is not what they do on a day. That's not their business. So they do one take and they think, okay, I'm done. But if you're promoting your business, you got to put a little effort in. So plan for multiple takes from the beginning. It helps take that pressure off. The first take often is just a warm up. And if you do multiple takes, you can pick the best version later. Perfection is not the goal. I think authenticity is the goal. People respond better to real more than polished. And your audience is going to connect with genuine content, genuine, valuable content to them that you are sharing. A natural video absolutely will outperform a stiff one. And in fact, I just saw an ad, and I won't be naming names, but it was for a product, and it had a athlete talking, and they were so uncomfortable and stiff. It was painful. Practice making your videos without sending them. Practice and then delete it. So you're like, oh, I look terrible, or I sounded delete it. Just practice with a few of them until you're ready to do one, and don't worry about being perfect. But I do want you to be a little bit more relaxed and authentic. That's all I'm asking. Authenticity is really what builds that trust. So when I say practice, and that's to build your confidence, you being on camera. And that confidence comes from practicing, and you're going to learn something from every video that you do. It doesn't come from waiting till you feel ready. Every video you make is going to make the next one easier and could make that next one better. Learn what you didn't like about a take you took and remember it, file it, and on your next video, improvise. Work with what you learned from you practicing. All right, here we go. What if you really don't want to be on camera? There's some effective alternatives, right? But again, I still think you being on camera is a gold standard. But yes, I understand, and I'm going to give you my best suggestions if you're just like, nope, not going to be on camera. So you could do a voiceover with just visuals or slides, right? You could combine clear narration with really compelling imagery or presentation decks. I could have given this whole presentation without me being on camera. It could just be me talking. It would be the voiceover. Now, you might say, oh, but I don't want to talk either. Well, you can have AI voiceover for you now. You can type it out and either use an AI voice or create an AI voice or clone your voice that never messes up. So many ways that you could do a voiceover. What about screen recorded tutorials? If you're teaching something, you could record your screen, the steps, step by step, demonstrate a software that you have or a process directly on your screen with just a voiceover. You don't have to be on camera. What about really high quality product footage? Showcase whatever your offerings are with really professional close-up cinematic video of your products. And what about using an AI avatar? I'm using avatars a lot. these days, but I'm very transparent that it's, Ronnie like, it's not really me. That's why I said in the beginning, this is really me. I'm here with you, talking to you today. There, the technology with the avatars is getting so good so fast. It's a way for you to be personalized yet camera free presence. So you could make an avatar of you, right? You could make an avatar of a phony person and use that to be the person, the face on camera. So all of those are definitely ways that you personally wouldn't have to be on camera. Okay, I see a question here. What are my thoughts on having your avatar being in your video instead of yourself? That's just what I was talking about. What I don't do is I don't imply that that avatar is me. I will put something in the lower third, saying, this is AI Ronnie helping you today or answering your questions today or whatever, because it's very important for me to separate when it's really me and when I'm using an avatar. But I openly use avatars on a regular basis. Okay, so could you use an avatar? Avatars help with consistency, and absolutely they help with speed. They're great for quick updates or simple explainers. Make sure the script that you're giving your avatar still sounds like your brand voice. It's a tool, it's not a complete replacement for you. So avatars make sense for maybe internal training videos. They absolutely can very effectively deliver consistent training modules to onboard content to employees. What about repetitive announcements? You can automate routine updates or reminders or policy changes without human error. As I said, an avatar is not going to make a mistake. You type in, that's what it's going to say. And what about simple explainer videos? You can create clear, really concise, engaging guides for your products or your services or your process. And you can test content ideas before recording yourself. You can really quickly prototype and create different options for scripts and visual concepts using avatars. All right, so when is real better than an avatar? Absolutely for personal introductions. When you're in the process of building trust and relationship development, that should be you, not an avatar. When you're sharing personal stories or brand history, again, that's you. And community focused messaging. Those are absolutely times that you should be you on camera, not an avatar. Okay, here's another tip for you. And I've already said it. Keep your videos focused on one idea, one message per video. Makes them so much easier to record, and it makes them easier to watch. All right. So some easy video ideas, again, for small businesses. Answer common questions. Share quick tips. Show, that's the beauty of video, how things really work. And you can react to trends. We've had a couple of trends that, again, if you're on social, you've been seeing them everywhere. One, I don't know whether you heard that Kit Kat, the little candy cookie bar, had was it 4 tons of Kit Kat stolen? And so many other brands were playing into that trend, giving them, condolence messages, but saying, oh, but by the way, we have some Kit Kats. Very funny and very funny to be able to jump on a trend like that. With the the astronauts, I've seen trending topics about space. If it applies to your business, if you can play into it with humor or connect somehow to your brand, not just jumping on a trend because it's a trend, because that's going to look like what you're doing. But if it genuinely can fit in with your brand and messaging, watch for things that are coming up. Of course, you never, with trends, you got to be careful, never copying, right? You want to be inspired and have things be your own. So again, just like we talk about image usage, video usage, music usage. You have to be aware of you're a business, so there are restrictions on what you can use if you didn't create it. All right. I love that we can reuse our video content. You can reuse anything you create. I'm such a big fan of repurposing and reusing webinar clips, frequently asked questions, your answers, client onboarding examples, sales reminders, customer support tips, and event invitations. All of that you can use multiple ways. So a short video clip works well for social. Then you could take a quote from that as a graphic image. You can use some of the text from your video to be the caption for a post. It could be the start of a longer form blog. It could be an email intro. It could be embedded on your website. Think of your content more as ecosystems, right? Not just a one-off. There's so many pieces of your social ecosystem that you can utilize one concept to all those different pieces. I also highly recommend that you keep a list of video topics, because if you wait for inspiration every time, a lot of times you're going to come up empty. So I keep running notes in my phone, screenshots. There's so many times I'm inspired, and again, that's the key, inspired. Don't want you to be copying, I want you to be inspired. And I save all of that because I'm like, oh, that would make a good video. That would make a good video. When it's time for me to make that video, I can't remember any of that stuff. I got to have a place that I can go back and look and go, oh yeah, that's what that was. Questions customers ask you, I would absolutely keep a running list of those, because those are phenomenal videos that you should be making, because those are your customers asking your questions. So are myths about your industry, mistakes that you see people make, mistakes that you've made, and quick tips. Okay. All right. I see a couple more questions here. What do I like to use for avatars? There's so many of them now. I am personally using HeyGen, but again, that changes all the time. There's a lot of different platforms that can make avatars. Okay, let's see another question. Someone is saying they're making, so for any social channel, when you are making videos for yourself, my best tip to you is I want you to study and watch your competitors. Again, not copy, but I want you to know what your competitors are doing, because that can give you such a head start when you're starting to make your videos. And don't just look at what they're doing now, look at what they did last year and the year before. If their messaging, if their look and feel has changed, try to figure out why, so that you don't have to learn from your mistakes, you can learn from their mistakes. Okay. We talked about call to actions throughout this presentation. So some of them, so a call to action is what you want somebody to do next. Is it visit our website, DM me for more information, send a message, book a call, watch the full video. This works especially well if your little short form videos are on social, but maybe you have the longer version on YouTube, right? Comment with a question. Why is that a good call to action? Because it's engagement, and algorithms love engagement. So if somebody is making questions and you're answering, that's boom, boom, 2 hits for the algorithm to think, oh, this is really good video, I'm going to show it to more people. Keep it simple and very direct on those call to actions. So what makes a business video effective? Well, I think it would be, I lost my screen. There we go. Boy, there we go. So a clear topic, focusing on one easily digestible subject, good enough sound, right, and lighting And when I say good enough, that's good enough. It does not have to be perfect. I just want your audio to sound good and you to be well lit. And that natural delivery. Speak authentically and engage directly with your audience. You're giving useful information, things that your audience needs help with and that you have a solution for, and then a clear next step. So, some common mistakes to avoid: starting too slowly. I see people do this all the time. They're like, hello, thanks for joining us. I'm blah, blah, blah. By that time, they're gone. On social videos these days, again, 12 seconds to 30 seconds, you jump right in. Don't waste any time in that beginning. And trying to sound overly formal, again, these days, it's not really how people are communicating. Using distracting backgrounds is going to take their eye away from you. And skipping captions. Do not skip captions. I will, for most of my videos, burn the captions in so that, most people these days watch videos without captions, right? Or excuse me, with captions on, without sound. And there's people that have to be able to understand your video without sound. Again, we're businesses. We got to make sure that we are accessible, right? There's compliance issues you got to worry about. Make sure that your captions are enabled, or if they're automatically generated by the platform, but I burn mine in because that way I know what they say, I know they're correct, right? And making that video too long for social, again, right now, it is pretty darn quick. And common mistake, waiting for perfection. Just post it. So your simple starter plan: choose one topic, record one short video this week. Use your phone, makes it easy. Keep it under 60 seconds. I would even try for under 30. Post it where your audience already is. If your audience is on TikTok, your video should be on TikTok. If they're also on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter, you can put your video in all of those places. Key takeaways from today. Video helps people connect with your business faster. You don't need a big team or a big budget to begin. A simple, clear, really helpful video can go a long way. And your confidence being on camera is going to grow every time you do another video. My final encouragement to you is you do not need to become a full-time content creator. You just need to communicate what you would be talking to a potential client across a coffee table with, clear and consistent. Start simple, keep going, and let video do some of the heavy lifting for you. Again, if you want my best tips, you can always scan the QR code. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I'm Ronnie Ramus. Thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for all of you who are active in chat. I want to see whether I think I have gotten to all of the questions. Just my pleasure to be with you this morning. I think video is absolutely where you should put time and energy for your business these days. So like I said, practice, do one video this week. You can use AI to help you write a really short script about your business, speaking to your audience that only you know your audience. We all have different audiences, and post it. Don't be afraid. Don't worry about being perfect. You're going to do great. Again, hope to see you at another SCORE webinar very, very soon. If you have not gotten a free SCORE mentor, I think that should be on your to-do list for today. Thank you so much.